better life for myself than what my parents could give me. I want a better life. I know that when you have college education, you get better jobs. People look at you with more respect, I guess. You get more sense of worth too. You work for so much more, so you get that much more afterwards.
Having to start at entry-level positions and trying to work my way up through companies, I realized that you really needed to have higher education in your life. So those were some of the seeds that I planted in my children.
Pretty much right after my first child was born, I knew that I enjoyed school and I really wanted to have a degree in early childhood education. That was kind of my passion at the time, and so I decided that I wanted to go back immediately and pretty much enrolled a year after that, but it was very hard to do and juggle daycare and a baby and a home life.
7th, 8th grade is when I realized that going to college wasn't an option. I mean, I was going, period.
It had kind of been something that we had talked about, but it wasn't really in the financial perspectives until one of my counselors suggested that I apply for a scholarship at MCC, and that's pretty much when I knew that it was a possibility and that that's something I wanted to pursue.
I think it's like a must. You must go to college if you want to try to be a little successful in life. So,
a college education is a valuable asset in life, but can often seem out of reach. No matter where their journeys began, these men and women have shared their stories to bring hope. Hope that, regardless of your circumstances, you and your children can navigate the maze that leads to higher education. They've shared their stories to inspire us all that a valuable education is both possible and available.
I think some of the barriers in getting into college, I would say, would possibly be mindsets. The mindsets, even from not only my peers, but possibly some family members that didn't attend college. It wasn't a lot of emphasis there. And so those were, I would say, the strongest barriers, is not seeing the people that I grew up in certain elements attend college. It's just basically just putting it into, I guess, neutral.
The biggest obstacle, I would say, is just in my own self-concept and self-worth. When you are around educated people, it can be intimidating at different times because you know in the back of your mind, even though I have 67 hours and I'm so close to finishing, I never finished it. I never took the initiative to finish that. And last semester I took a class at MCC and have kind of vowed to do that now in my 50s. So we'll see how that goes.
I was a young mother. When I sat down to do my college work, he would sit at the table with me with crayons, and in his high chair while I was doing my homework, I would, have him doing something. Always try to sit and make homework a family thing.
When you're in high school or you're in middle school, it seems like there are a lot of challenges and it seems like there are too many things to overcome, but there are so many people that are ready and willing to help you. And I think if I would have known that, I would have felt less intimidated. I would have started my search for college earlier. Very happy with the choices that I made, but I definitely think that's something that I wish I would have known, that I wish somebody would have told me, because I wouldn't have been near as worried about the process.
While the path to higher education can be challenging at times, there are resources available to anyone needing that extra push. From financial aid counselors to career-oriented programs to mentoring programs such as LEAD, the road to college doesn't have to be a daunting one.
The LEAD program is a program you're chosen out of the school, and you're partnered with a business person from the Waco area. And with them, you get to go on tours. We're exposed to some things that other students aren't. We're exposed to business, environment, and things like that. And through there, we do networking.
Gracie Shavir is a perfect example of a student who's taken advantage of every opportunity given to her, even when those opportunities seemed impossible to achieve. She came to the United States when she was very young, didn't know English, learned English, understood, her parents understood the importance of an education. Her goals were set. She set her own goals, that I want to be the best in school. And she did that. And she graduated valedictorian of her class at University High School. And those of us who were fortunate enough to be around her are motivated by her. you hear a lot of times in a mentoring role that, the mentor gets more back than the mentee or the student. And that's definitely the case with Gracie. She touches people's lives, and what she achieved is truly incredible.
When it comes to the value of higher education, nothing speaks at greater volume than quality of life. In an age filled with technological advances and ever-increasing global competition, a college degree is more important to achieve now than ever before.
There are a lot of studies out there about quality of life and in a college education, and what someone's earning power is with a college education versus what it is if you get a GED or just a high school diploma. Even going to any kind of extended education, your earning power is greater.
My parents or even my aunts were just in school. A high school diploma was enough. High school diploma was, oh, great, you got through 12 years of school. You deserve a good job. And now you need more and you need more. The technology advances, all of that influences the need for more knowledge and the need for more qualified people.
We're faced with an economy that actually needs the skill and professional levels. And those skills and professional levels actually come from higher education.
No question about the fact that now it is incredibly important to pursue a higher education because of the competition. I mean, it is becoming even more and more important as each new class graduates. There are more students going to college. So as the competition increases, those who don't go to college are severely limited. I've noticed in jobs that I've had other careers, and there's a ceiling there for those who don't go to college or don't graduate from college. You can only get to a certain level, or you may not even qualify to be an applicant if you do not have a college degree. So I think it's definitely more people are now going to college than ever before, and it's you better be on that boat.
I have so much respect for a lot of the peers that I work with and how their education has really catapulted them to do so many extraordinary things, and I'd like to be among that group.
Regardless of your children's age, now is the right time to explore their options for higher education.
By your freshman, sophomore year, at least be looking and trying to know a few schools that you really want to get into, and then a few of your backup schools, because it's never too early to start looking at them at the universities. And so when it comes to your senior year, you're not scrambling trying to find, okay, which school am I going to apply for? You already know, so now you have to just go out and apply.
I think many times most parents think the cost is just drastically out of reach, but I will say that college is for everybody.
There are a lot of people here to help. At community colleges, universities, there are so many different tracks that you can take to pursue your higher education that there's no reason that it shouldn't be a possibility. I feel like if you really want it, that you can make it happen. It'll take some work, but it'll be worth it.
If you're looking for practical steps on how to prepare your children for college, consider this advice.
There are 3 really important steps. Number 1 is make sure that you're encouraging your child that education is important. Read to them at home from a very early age. So starting out, they need to know how important education is. Number 2, that financial burdens of education are not anything that should keep a child from pursuing, a college degree. There are a lot of scholarships. Parents ought to be educated on what those scholarships are and know themselves that I'm never going to tell my child you can't go to college because we can't afford it. That cannot be an answer. And the third thing is the parents need to early on start looking at what is it going to take for my child to qualify for college. Is he going to have to take the SAT? Is she going to have to take the ACT? What kind of grades am I going to have to get into Texas A&M, University of Texas, Baylor University? So the parents need to know what it's going to take for their child to get in. They need to know about the scholarships available, and they need to encourage their child from day one that education is important.
I think college education brings stability. It brings a lot of new experiences. You know more. Knowledge is power. And so I think that's the main thing, stability. That's what it's brought to my life. That's what it's going to bring to my future family. I'm not going to be, losing jobs because oh, you're not qualified anymore, we need you to have a college diploma. I'll already have it.
The power of an education not only opens doors, but it opens the mind. Education allows us to dream more, explore more, and challenge more. An educated mind can neither be contained nor oppressed. Epictetus, the Greek philosopher and former slave, said it best, "Only the educated are free."